Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope we're having a blessed Sunday afternoon. This video may be a little bit rushed. Currently, I'm about to go witness the birth of my cousin. My nephew is giving birth to my cousin, so I gotta make this video quick. So let's get into it. Hate to rush this one, guys, because this is a very magnificent book. It's one of my favorite reads of all time after I finished it, and that's going to be The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. One particular reason that this story I found myself really enjoying was when I did my dissertation for my degree. The topic of my paper was, gender theory. You could say like literary gender theory. So, and specifically, I was talking about Hemingway and different forms of masculinity. So the whole identity of like gender and gender roles has always fascinated me. And so if you couldn't guess, this story is about gender. It's We have our main character, Ginli Ai, who is a envoy from what you could consider like a Star Trek Galactic Federation, a sort of utopian galactic spanning coalition. And one of our envoy is sent to this planet where there are no genders, there's no gender roles there's no idea of gender, right? Because each of these alien characters, they're human in all aspects except for they obtain or they have both sets of private parts, which I believe makes them a hermaphrodite. I think is the correct term, but they can only use these parts for about 5 or 6 days at the end of every month, and that's sort of like almost when they go into heat. If you want to find a pretty nasty example to compare it to, but and de- depending on if they're male or female, is really just up for grabs. It's not determined beforehand. It just happens in the moment. So, and that's why the famous line in the story is the king is pregnant because the king goes through kimmering, which is like their time to mate, and he assumes the role of the woman, and he houses the heir to his throne, and he's the one giving birth to it. This is really a masterclass in world building. You can see the amount of detail and emphasis that Ursula K. Le Guin put into how a genderless society would function. It's very similar. I think the comparison I like to make is like to the magic system in Avatar, how it's like integral to these people's cultures and how they function every day based on how they can manipulate certain weather abilities. It's like the same thing here. It feels deeply ingrained into the society and how they function. And we get to really see the disparity through Ginli Ai, who is from Earth and is accustomed to our gender roles. Writing wise, Ursula K. Le Guin's writing is really sharp and very leaning more literary, honestly. It has a very rhythmic procession to its prose. There was a lot of words in this I had to look up. It's obvious that Ursula K. Le Guin was, a very intelligent woman, had a very wide vocabulary. Um, and the writing, generally, it just feels so smooth. It's like you're reading and you're not coming to like hacky, choppy sentences. Sorry, everyone. That was my grandma. She was telling me that I have to drive the minivan today to the birth at the hospital. But anyways, yeah. So basically, that's all I was going to say about the writing. Ursula K. Le Guin is obviously very talented in the actual technical craft of writing. Fortunately, I wanted to cut this video short, guys, but Left Hand Darkness for me was a 5-star read. I could see maybe if you are into sci-fi for the large-scale action scenes, stuff like that. Maybe if you're a Red Rising fan, I probably wouldn't recommend this story because it's very slow, and the only type of war that happens is off-screen, and it's not really even a war at all. There's not much action. But if you're a fan of just politics, maybe how politics come to be, how these certain systems function with these sort of guys. I don't know what I'm talking about honestly, but not much action in this one. But it's a great study on gender and how maybe human compassion can break bounds that maybe we might not be able to see, in times of distress. We see these terrible things happen around the world and we think like, well, how could, humans do this to each other? But I think this book shows us that, you know, we see differences and we see uncomfortability and our initial reaction is how do I take advantage of this or how do I get rid of this? And but yeah, there's a light there where there is the possibility that as humans we could see, how can I function from this? How can I improve from this? How can I work to learn the other's point of view better? And I think this story does a great job with that, guys. So 5-star read. If you're a sci-fi fan, pick it up. It's great. If you love Ursula K. Le Guin, then obviously pick this one up too. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon.